So, welcome back to Wet Box. This is episode 2.
Episode 2.
First and foremost of this episode, moment of silence for our fallen brother, Ethan.
He died of
Has
the
come down with
Came down with herpes.
chlamydia and herpes.
and herpes and comtism.
And we just want to give him a moment of silence. Editor, if you could put in some taps or something here, that'd be
Taps?
really nice.
I like how it's a moment of silence and we're all trying to add in music to the moment of silence.
Okay, that's enough silence.
That's enough silence.
Um,
We've got a new member. We've completely replaced him. And it's time to introduce our special guest, Jay Bowl. Oh, fuck. You probably don't want to say your last name, do you?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Okay.
Y'all ain't said your last names.
No, absolutely
I don't plan
not.
on it.
So,
I didn't say it all, but.
Yeah, this is Jay Bull.
This is Jay Bowl.
yeah.
Jay Bowl,
And,
introduce yourself. You red-haired rascal.
JBOWLER, because, well, I'm still competing with Marshall, but.
I'm better. 196 average, bitch.
It's been a while.
Bowling? Oh, bowler. Okay.
Yeah.
I just got that.
Your average has never been that high.
No, but I've also
This,
Oh,
if
I
this-
believe-
I
league
also
for us.
really started from the bottom.
I have a league for us to do. I started from the bottom too, bitch.
Really? I'll be in the league with you.
this is how
I
nerdy
meant to
these
talk
two
to you
guys
about
are.
that during
They're in bowling
Christmas
leagues.
break.
Yeah, we can do a league at good times because
Really?
I get discounted.
When do they
And
start? Can we not start one until the summer?
it's in 8 weeks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
and it's a 10-week league, so it's fine.
And it'll be done in May.
yeah.
Okay. I'll do that.
So yeah, welcome to Wetbox. We got a couple interesting things to talk about this week, and I think y'all all be very excited to hear about them. First off, our new member is going to talk about his interesting story.
He's got a great story about him. Some officers of the law.
and him giving them a blowjob so he doesn't get a ticket.
That's true.
You know, you gotta do what you gotta do in this day and age.
Damn straight. And he gives that good gluck.
Yeah, so can you walk us through what exactly happened there? How do you end up on your knees for a game warden?
So, first of all, it all started just regular Saturday.
Could you talk any slower? Could you talk at a slower pace?
Look,
First of all,
I don't know if you ever talked to me. I
all
don't talk very fast.
start it.
First
So
of
it
all,
all started.
sounds like I'm talking to my grandpa.
Saturday.
He's having a dementia attack. He's like,
Jesus Christ.
I'm trying to remember.
Well, I can't talk too fast, or else the story will get messed up.
It's like when you have a presentation, it has to be 5 minutes long. So you're
Yeah.
like, I really like this.
So it all
This is-
started last Saturday.
Mhm.
Last Friday night we had a couple people over, and we enjoyed each other's company with some alcohol. And so, good buddy Riley, he spent the night. We were all planning to go to the shooting range. So out in the Tuskegee National Forest. So it was planning on being, me, myself, Riley, Leo, and Ethan. But that morning, Ethan decided, he didn't want to go. He didn't want to
Wake up. He didn't want to get his dumb ass out of bed.
And,
he didn't want to spend the money just shooting bullets away.
It's
Also,
$3.
I didn't get
guess-
an invite to this because they're a bunch of pieces of shit.
You didn't get an invite to this?
No.
I guess
You
you
got
weren't with
anybody
us.
to the one before?
Were you not with us the night before?
No.
Oh,
Where
I was
were
at
you then?
work.
Oh.
oh, never mind.
All right, that's
that
our
makes
bad.
sense.
That's honestly our
But
bad.
you're also waiting in line with the basketball game.
Yeah, that's true. I couldn't come anyway.
So,
Yeah.
so it all, Saturday morning, Riley and I go grab our passes. We go to Academy and get a target, bullets, typical things you need at the range. We head on down here to Casa de E&L,
Should be L&E.
L&E.
It's now just Casa de El.
Casa de Scott.
Ethan,
Casa de Scott.
Ethan has passed away.
Ethan has
So-
passed away. I was eating some good chicken pasta that I made earlier in the week, which was probably a little old, and I probably shouldn't have ate it. But I was
So Riley and I head down here, truck full, head down and pick up Leo and his artillery. And we head on down to Uchi Shooting Range, head on down County Road, head on down Y Road, and County Road 54. No issues. Of course, we didn't quite think it through. Saturday morning at 10:30.
It was probably 11 by the time we got there.
It was probably almost
It took a
11
while to
o'clock
get me
by
in
the
the
time we
truck.
get there.
Long
And
hour.
Saturday morning, there's a shit ton of people down there.
There
So
was one slot open.
yeah, we all three of us, large fellas, slide into this one spot. Get all our shit out. So we're chilling. We're shooting our guns, having a good time.
Let's get to that. Let's move this.
We're
shit
there for
along.
about an hour.
We
Hour
leave.
15 minutes. So we finally shoot all the bullets we want, blow all the freaking money away.
By the way, these are all officially ATF registered guns, and
They sure are.
it's all.
That's gonna make them think that they're not now.
Yeah.
Well, it's a
Alright,
public service
Let's
announcement.
put this sucker on 5 times speed.
All right.
we've
So
got
we're
nothing.
leaving.
Yeah,
we're
this
heading
is-
on out. So we head on down the road, and get back on County Road 54. This is a dirt road, mind you. So we're heading on down like any other day we would, and there's this. I don't know if I should specify, but there's this truck on the side of this road, and we're at the point. It's still a county road. There's nothing wrong about going down this road, but there's private property on each side, and so there's this truck, not quite pulled over, but he's, not in the middle of the road. And, it's a dirt road. I'm just going to go around him like any other human being would. And as soon as I do, he, peels out, hits the gas. So, obviously, me and Leo and Riley are, slightly alarmed, but we still have a truck full of guns.
See,
We're
I was
not
in the
that
back.
concerned.
I was in the back gooning back there.
Yeah.
I was not really paying attention until you and Riley were like, "Oh my God, there's somebody like on our tail grabbing our ass."
Yeah, on a dirt road. I'm driving.
So the Alabama Fish and Wildlife Corporation does not.
Look,
have
I
lights
haven't
on
finished the story yet.
It ain't got lights on their truck.
No, it's a beat up,
This is like an old crappy truck.
They ain't got
Yeah.
no damn lights.
No, it's like some old crappy horrible.
Alright.
Yeah, some
Truck.
property owner, that thinks we're, some 16-year-olds driving around drinking beer, throwing cans out the window on a Saturday morning,
As all.
not
16-year-olds
anymore.
do.
So we are obviously a little alarmed by this, we have a truck full of guns. We're some fairly large men. So it's like, what's this one dude gonna do? So, we're driving a decent speed down this road, faster than I want to go, but not an alarming speed.
Whole damn podcast gonna be Jay's fucking story.
This is an
So-
hour long. We haven't even. We're just now to the first like.
Well, maybe if y'all quit interrupting
quarter.
me, I'd get done with
Well,
it.
damn.
we didn't keep interrupting.
He
His
fucking-
speed and his crap.
So we finally get to the paved road again, and obviously I'm gonna try to get away from this dude because, or at least get back into town where he can't just be on my ass and be alarmed. We're in town. What's he gonna do? So eventually we get back to Leo's, unpack all his shit, and then get back to my trailer, and Riley gets all his shit and heads home, and the day goes on. So Monday morning comes, or I say Monday, I guess about noon comes. I'm still in bed. I hear some aggressive knocking on my door. So I get up, go check it. It's 2 game wardens, fully decked out, a little more decked out than they need to be. They have their, AK mags on them, and they're looking intimidating. I'm wearing my shorts and t-shirt. I haven't showered in a day and a
Did you
half.
just wake up when they?
You should have walked out. You should have walked out there butt ass naked. That's what I would have done. I would have looked at like the peephole, been like, "Oh, game
Well,
worn."
No,
Totally
normally somebody
swinging.
knocking on my door unalarmed, I would have grabbed my pistol and had it in my pocket. But I'm glad I didn't do that.
or clenched it between your 2 ass cheeks.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't do that. I'm glad I left it, where I keep it. We'll say. I'm glad I left it there. So, these say, hey, you Mr. So-and-so? I said, yes, sir. You know, "Oh, why don't you come out here and talk to us?" I said, "Oh, okay. I don't, you know, I've obviously, you know, these two officers at my door. As I have known, I've done nothing wrong. Never in my life have I, you know." So I go out and talk to these officials, and are accusing me and my friends of pointing gun barrels out the window and shooting deer out the window of my truck, you know. And apparently they've been called in by this, what I assume is the fellow that followed us out from the shooting range. So they're asking me all these questions, you know, asking me, you know, did you do it? They're being very aggressive. They're really trying to get me to say, "Oh yeah."
Damn, dude.
What?
This shit is so slow.
Bro, I'm not even listening to what I'm saying.
He's back there going, so like, hey,
You know,
get me out.
this other day I
You
had done.
telling this story is longer than the entirety of the story itself.
I did this thing. And
Well, look, let's see.
while I was doing
I'll
it-
speed it up a little bit. Let's see. These guys, let's see, they're talking to me. They said, you know, "Have you done this?" "No, I haven't done that. I'm not an idiot. You know, I'm not 16 anymore. You know, I got places to hunt. Me and my buddies got property to hunt on. No, we weren't looking for deer out the window on a Saturday at noon. Like,
That is the craziest part. Is they think we were hunting, like shooting out of the truck on a Saturday at noon.
yeah, when there's, you know, shit ton of people driving down this road anyway.
That's when all the big bucks come out at noon on a Saturday on a
When it-
public road.
when
Yeah.
everybody's out there at the damn shooting range letting off
Yeah.
about 40 rounds a minute.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's accusing me of this, and he's like, "Is that your truck?" I'm like, "Yeah." I mean, he's like, "That's a good description of a guy." I'm like, "No fucking shit, you know." The guy got my license plate and said there's a shit ton of stickers on the back. I mean, that's my truck.
Yeah.
Mind you, I drive a white F-150, literally the most bought vehicle in America. Like, but it was my truck they got. So, and, you know, the real kick we got out of this story is that they said they, you know, had the balls to say, you know, these tire treads match tracks we have in some mud. And it's like, they're tires, you know. Anybody can go online or, I mean, to any dealer.
And I mean, you have
order these tires.
You have like one of the most common sets of mud tires there is.
Yeah, like we're in a college town. Like,
Everybody's driving some dumbass truck.
half the damn, you know, people, half the damn
Every motherfucker in the fraternities around here has the same F-150.
have these damn
With the
tires
same
on their
tires.
truck.
And here's
Like,
my thing: when would they have went and examined tire tracks on that road? Because there's so many people that drive down that road.
it's a county road.
Yeah, I mean, that's like one of the two roads you can take to get anywhere in that national forest or whatever.
I was
And I get it if, you know, my truck was covered in red clay and, you know, dirty water.
Also, they have no evidence you were
Right.
doing shit. It's like, did you tell them what you were doing out there?
Yeah, but the other thing is, you know, they said, "Were you doing this?" I said, "No, I was out, you know, doing this at the shoot range." First of all, they accused me for 3 weeks of doing this. Mind you, I've been down there twice in the past week. So I have my 2 passes, you know. I offered to give them the phone numbers and addresses of the 2 people who were with me at the time. And that, you know, of course, they didn't want any of that for some reason, you know. They're accusing me of all this when I have 2 witnesses that, you know, say otherwise, will tell the exact same story I am. You know, they don't want any of that. They don't want no smoke. So that's another red flag. You know, they're not wanting any of this evidence I have.
Damn straight.
100%.
So, but you know, the real kick we got out of it was.
You ever heard somebody say the word "so" and This means
So,
not a
I
damn
haven't heard.
story?
I haven't
Bro,
heard
you probably have, bitch. You
Oh,
probably
I've
do
heard
all the
somebody-
time.
I've not heard somebody
uh,
talk this slow in my entire life. I've heard a lot
Well,
of.
you act like you never had a conversation with me.
No, Jay. I've had a lot of conversation with you, and when you tell a story, it's normally at around this pace, maybe a little bit faster. But the difference is, the main key difference is we're trying not to interrupt you and talk with you. We're trying to let you tell a story. So it's literally just you sitting over there going, "They come up to my door."
And you know,
Well,
the other
and
day I was
look,
in
it's
Walmart.
also if I'm talking to y'all in person, I can go back and be like, well, this happened too. If I say that now, the audience is not gonna think it's highly of me. They're gonna be, oh, he's trying to add in, more entertaining parts. But it's like,
Jay,
this all happened.
Jay, have you ever had a roommate?
Nope.
Really?
Until you out living with somebody is nice, man. It's
Is
nice.
it?
Is
Until
it?
they get the flu.
Well, that's true. I like living with somebody, except I lived without somebody for a whole semester, and
Wow, a whole semester?
a whole semester. I know,
How
right?
lonely.
I know it was very lonely. There was good parts and there was bad parts. The good parts are
You can
be-
jerk off on the couch.
you can jerk off on the couch. That's the main good part. The main bad part is there's nobody. If you want to go talk to somebody or want to go interact with somebody, you got to like make plans or you got to go do something.
Yeah.
The good part about having a roommate is like, oh, they're watching something in the living room. You can just like watch it with them and like have human interaction.
Well, the thing is, I basically had, almost had a roommate, with my neighbor. So,
Oh, yeah.
like
face
freshman
over.
year, I mean, we were over at each other's places, every night, all
Yeah.
the time. Like,
Yeah, that makes
so,
sense.
I mean, I basically, pretty much had, the roommate experience without, somebody having to live with me, which was great.
The roommate experience is wanting to go back into your room and beat off, but you can't because you're like, there's somebody like trying to interact with you.
It's like
Yeah.
you can't because they're gonna know.
They're gonna know if you go back. It's 4 p.m. You're like, oh, I'm gonna go take a nap. It's like you're going back there to beat off. Everybody knows you're going back there to beat off.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I think there's definitely there's pros and cons to having a roommate. And I think the pros definitely outweigh the cons. Yeah,
I believe that too.
I really don't. Wait till you don't have a roommate, and
No, you get cabin fever, dude. I got cabin fever so bad when I didn't have a roommate.
it's because you're used to having a roommate, and you also had a sister who lived with you for majority.
Yeah,
of
I
it.
guess that's true.
You
We
live with
both-
her for 17 out of the 18 years you lived.
That's
with
not true at all. Cause
Well,
so Tara went with my mom and I kind of went with my dad.
okay.
So like me and Tara really didn't live together. Not that, and Tara lived with mom after 8th grade. Middle school, Tara moved in with mom, and she was just like, "I'm not staying at Dad's house anymore."
Oh, okay.
And so I said her name. Damn it! Fuck,
Well,
I
I mean,
talked
it's
too much
fine.
about that. It's fine. Well, I don't know.
Well, let's say I said, I'm
Who
trying not
cares?
to name
But
it.
anyway, so she moved in with mom, which good for her, whatever. Dad's house was kind of nasty, so and whenever that happened, I was with Dad, and then I started staying with Dad the majority of the time. So then, and Dad was gone at shows all the time, so I was at home alone a lot, and I was fine with that. But it was like, if I ever want an interaction, I could just go. So I don't know. I just like having somebody to be like, hey, do you want to do this? And then we do that. If I want interaction, I can have it happen. Versus when I didn't have a roommate, it'd be like, oh, I got to drive to Justin's house. And then I got to like either A, drive home drunk or sleep on his horrible couch.
Well, I think that's definitely we have good roommate situations because I know a lot of people. They live in dorms or apartments.
It's a dorm shit.
They don't talk to their roommate. They don't even know what their roommate's major is.
Yeah.
They just live with them. They come out of the room to cook something on the stove, go straight back into their room.
Well, you forgot the most important part. They come out of their room, leave a bunch of dirty dishes everywhere, and don't take out the trash, even though it's
Yeah.
overflowing and everywhere.
Oh my God! Talk about some roommates that don't take out the trash.
I don't take out the trash. I'll be honest. I clean this house daily.
Yeah, but your trash can is 30 feet away.
Who didn't take out the trash? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about at somebody else's apartment
Who?
that I used to spend a decent amount of time at, but
Yeah.
we quit staying there because of the roommate situation.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah.
This person's roommate did not own this place that they lived in, and our friend walked into the roommate giving a blowjob to a male. A male giving a blowjob to a male. So
What are we talking
are
about
you talking
now?
about the same person I'm talking about?
No, I'm talking about my significant other.
No, I was talking about Trip.
Trip walked in on somebody giving a blowjob to a man.
No, he walked in on his roommate giving a blowjob to a man.
So, dude, what?
Mhm.
That's insane.
Yeah, I remember. I never heard that, but I remember hearing he was a little fruity.
That's crazy.
Trip never lived with a roommate, but this dude moved in. When he was leaving for Guam.
And that guy was gay and like sucking dick in his apartment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Trip,
he got a whole
Trip told me.
TikTok account. He's doing OOTDs.
Yeah, Trip told me about a
OOTDs
week.
for a dude.
About a week before he left for Guam, he walked into his apartment, and his roommate was giving a blowjob to a man
See, but
on the couch.
here's the
That's
thing.
pretty nasty. See, I remember talking to Tripp in that time, and he said, "I think my roommate's a little fruity." He never said that, but
No, he told me this during Christmas break, so we might be getting conflicted stories. I don't know.
Here's my thing: is if Trip saw two guys sitting next to one another on the couch, like holding hands or something, he'd be like, y'all are sucking dick.
That's
Y'all
true.
over there sucking dick."
It's true.
I mean, I would not doubt that there'd be some.
Well, I mean, Ethan's heard that story. Ethan heard that story with me.
Damn, I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I believe him. I mean, look, nothing wrong with that.
What are you doing?
Nothing wrong with some gay dick.
I'm
sucking.
trying to use the facilities, but your neighbor's got his screen door open.
Well, why
Yeah.
don't you just use the bathroom? So, if you don't know this, everybody, I live in a trailer, or not a trailer, like a manufactured home, a single wide, and the front door has a nice porch on it and a nice entrance. The back door
Has a
has-
12-foot
That
drop
door has
into
about a
the
10
Hell's
foot
Gates.
drop.
It's about a 10-foot drop. Or
It's
not
in
a
the
10
Hell's
no, no,
Gates.
No.
It's probably
I could
8 feet.
climb up on it, so it's probably,
It's probably 7 or 8 feet.
7 or 8 feet, right? And there's no way to, you could jump down and, maybe turn your ankle or whatever. So when Ethan came, he decided that it'd be a good idea to start peeing out the back door.
And everyone has adopted it.
And ever since, it's become a thing to just pee out the back door. The problem is I have a neighbor who's also in a single wide that his house is about 15 feet away from mine. So if he's ever and this, you can see the street out that door. So if anybody drives down the street, or if my neighbor comes out of his house or looks out his window, he'll see some guy just pissing in his direction, not side of his direction, in his direction.
in the defense of the people that piss out this door, most of the time when we do, we're pretty drunk.
Pretty drunk, but guess what?
And we take the definition of piss drunk a little too literally.
That's true. There is a bathroom probably about 10 feet to the left of that door.
Then you have to piss into the water, and it makes a weird sound when you just piss out the door and it's quiet.
You piss into the water every day. You've pissed in the water more than you've pissed out of the water.
And it's also
You don't know that. Maybe I piss into the bucket.
it's
Give a
dark
bucket.
every
Have you-
time. So it's like, other than your neighbor, who is honestly a little strange, and we never see him.
I saw him. I talked to him today. He's actually pretty cool.
Really?
He's a freshman and he's in like engineering.
He's a freshman.
Yes, I couldn't believe that.
I think he's in.
Man,
Like,
we're
Alpha-
spoiled, bro.
I think he's in a fraternity.
He is in a frat, but that's why he's never here.
Yeah.
But have you
I feel like
guys
he's always here.
have you guys
he's
seen
always-
that episode of Hoarders where the girl was using her bathroom and then it got clogged up, and so she didn't want it to overflow, and she got a bucket, and now she goes number 2 and number 1.
Oh
into the
yes, yes, I
bucket.
saw that.
And the way she empties the bucket is she pours it into a smaller bucket and then carries the bucket out of her house and dumps it. But there's a video of her doing it. I couldn't believe that the people filmed this. There's a video of her pouring the bucket into a smaller bucket and then carrying it out of the house, but she overfilled it. So it's like spilling over the sides, and piss and shit is going everywhere.
I want to know how the cameraman didn't like fall over and vomit all over.
I don't know how they filmed that.
All I'm saying is every time.
Yeah, I wonder how. I hope they got a big, bonus.
a big paycheck for that
for,
one.
for everyone that doesn't know, I have a pretty severe case of ADHD. And every time I'm sitting there contemplating with myself about whether or not I'm going to clean my damn house or my room, my greatest excuse I've come up with is to look up an episode of Hoarders, watch about 5 minutes of it, look at the floor of my room, and say, I don't need to clean it.
It's not that dirty. Yeah, fair enough. The only reason I clean my room is when I have like a date that night or something.
Yeah, I do that too. Or
What was
if I'm
that date last
expecting
night?
a bunch of company.
Well, okay. Now I'm gonna have to talk about my cool date last night. that it's a great Hinge story for all my boys and girls out there on Hinge. I'm
You
sure
know,
you've
have
had
hope.
Many experiences like this.
Didn't you meet your girlfriend on? What'd you meet your girlfriend on?
Bumble.
Bumble.
Oh, that's sweet.
So I guess I have to meet mine on Tinder. Is that what we're doing here?
That's what we're doing. I'm not marrying this girl,
And
but
I guess Ethan, once he gets over his chlamydia, is gonna have to meet one on Grinder.
there you go. But so I have this. I'm texting this girl, and I didn't text her that much. So I text this girl, and I'm like, hey, blah blah blah, whatever. Do you want to? She said she liked video games in her profile. I was like, do you want to run a course on Fortnite for me because I suck at Fortnite? She's like, yeah, sure. And I was like, all right, class starts tomorrow. I'll pick you up at 7, take you to dinner, and then I'll take you back to my house, and you can teach me how to play Fortnite. And she's like, sounds great. So I get her snap, start snapping her, and then I literally said tomorrow at 7. So then tomorrow at 6:20 comes, and I'm like, are we still on? And then she's like, yeah, sure. And I'm like, where am I picking you up? Because I'm assuming she's also in the Auburn area. And she sends me a snap with the location in the bottom, and it says Alabaster, Alabama.
Holy shit!
And I go, dear God, what? And I send her a snap. I'm going, you're insane. I look it up. It's 2 hours away from here.
Yeah,
I'm like-
Alabaster's like Beham.
Did you not
Yeah.
like check her distance on?
No, dude. I talked to. I'm like. I just
He's
don't-
got so many women in the bank. I mean, like you just can't
It's not
keep track of where they're at.
When I'm talking to girls on Hinge, I have such a bad memory that like I don't look at the location of them most of the time. I just assume they're in Auburn. And that girl, like, I just like texted her like, "Do you want to go out so fast?" And then like got her snap. Like went out with her the next day. I didn't even really look at it. I just assumed she was in Auburn because I think she might have had. I don't know. She probably did. No, actually, I checked it later, and she goes to UAB. So I was like, I'm the dumbest son of a bitch on the planet. So I got home and I like cleaned my house and like got my bed ready and I was like, all right, about to.
So that's why y'all called me last night. You know, I said no because Ethan called me last night. He's like, "Hey, we're coming over." I was like, "No."
I understand.
I was like, because I was like, man, I invite all these people over. I'm like, they're all watching the game at my house, and you know, you're gonna be at Jay's house or whatever, and Leo's got his date. And I was like, man, shit, Ethan's computer about to die. I was just like,
I understand, man. It's a vibe change, you know, and sometimes you need the vibes to stay the same.
yeah.
There's a lot of good. I've got a lot of great Tinder and Hinge horrible things. I don't think anybody's really winning on that app. You may think you're winning. But you're not.
I was on Hinge for about a week, and that app was just too damn confusing.
Confusing.
I couldn't figure out how it worked. I mean, I see like these, models from, they're in New Jersey. I'm
Right. And they're hitting
I'm
you
like,
up
what
going-
is this
going,
popping
I need
up?
Jay. I need Jay so bad. And you're going, I can't figure out how to text them back, man. I tell you what. A USB-C block? I have check my nightside table on the power cord.
But I had some good luck on the Bumble app.
You had good luck I've never had good luck on Bumble in my life.
That's where I met a Mad Dog.
Oh, Mad Dog.
Yeah.
That's good for you, brother. Jay found his current ex-wife that he still gets with on the occasion on Bumble.
And you know what? What I love about Bumble is they got to text first. And when
That's
they
true.
dry as hell, it's funny because, they say men are dry when they got to text first.
Oh, they do.
Podcast of Saves, boys. I had to take a few minutes and plug in the computer.
But
Marshall
you know
was in
what?
panic mode there trying to plug in the computer as he's about to die.
Yeah, really the leader this evening.
He's stepped up. He's
trying.
stepped up.
I'm trying very hard. Yeah,
The Bumble app really,
It sucks. It's the worst dinner day.
yeah. Every time I've been on Bumble, I've looked at it. I've gone, fuck this.
I just have a lot to say about it because that's where, I've had luck.
You know the greatest thing about the fuck, I forgot what I was going to say immediately.
Bumble app.
The Bumble app is that. Damn it! Somebody else talk for a second.
Okay, well,
Look, what the thing with the Bumble app, what I love is that, the women got to text first, and
I remember-
they dry as hell anyway. They're not gonna be like,
You already said that, but I remember what I was going to say. All the people that we're like, oh, I don't want to talk about them, they're never going to get to this part of the podcast. There's no way they make it this far.
That's
So we
true.
can say whatever we want. Hey,
That's
Justin,
true.
kill yourself. Fuck you. All right? And you know what? I'm not going to tell him this, but Justin, if you text me the numbers 3926, then I will buy you a 24 rack of Yingling Flight. For sure.
If you can find it.
If he finds those
Are they-
numbers.
They have a 24. Do they
All I was
make
saying about
24?
is like Tinder is so easy. You just tap, and then Bumble you have to fucking scroll
Oh my
down
God,
there,
and then
and
you-
you have to look through all of it. And it's
And-
like Jesus.
Yeah,
You
but-
switch,
but
and
look.
it fucks you.
The Bumble is like the more, you get more real people on Bumble, I feel like.
Yeah, they're real on Bumble. I can tell you
Yeah.
that for a
If,
fact.
look,
Yeah.
if people have a
Real,
Tinder
real.
and a Bumble, like, I feel like, they're, looking hard.
You know, my whole issue
They're
with
real desperate.
all these dating apps is, I'll match with a girl, whatever, and then I'll text her, and she'll text me back, and I just completely forget I have the app. Like, there's been like 4 or 5 girls on both apps that I've texted. They've texted me back, and I checked like 2 weeks later. I was like, fuck.
You just keep texting them.
Well, it's been like 2 weeks. I'm
Doesn't
like,
it does
"Eh,
not matter. They do not care, dude. They,
Well, just act like, Tinder's not that big of a deal to you. Act like it's, more of a side piece.
Yeah, you guys just say, oh, I forgot I had this app. Sorry.
yeah, I mean, you don't even say that. You just be like, "Hey, what's up?" or like, "What's your favorite?" Blah blah blah. I do that all the time, dude. It's you just scroll through, you're like, "Oh, I forgot to text this girl back" or whatever. It's a crazy experience, to be honest with you. You got to hit up a million girls before.
You know what? That's what I'm saying. The dating app is just not the move.
Nah, it is the move, but you
know
got to
what?
realize
The
that.
best dating app is LinkedIn.
Oh my God,
You
Good luck
see
with
where they
that.
work.
A LinkedIn is a real
It's real.
fine one.
It's a fine app because every woman that has a LinkedIn is a fine working citizen of the United States.
I need to make me a LinkedIn account. What I need to do.
Yeah,
What you need to do.
You don't have a LinkedIn account?
Do you?
Yeah,
Is that one standing?
Motherfucker, I've had one since freshman year.
Yeah, I have a LinkedIn account.
I haven't updated it in a while.
Did I use it just to get pictures of a pedophile I used to work with? Yes.
Oh my God, you
Oh.
worked with a pedophile?
I thought I told y'all this story. All right. Well,
Did
I
he
guess
fuck
I'm
any
not-
underage kids?
No.
Okay.
He got charged with possession of child pornography.
Oh.
Oh, I remember this.
Yeah. Should I tell it for the?
Tell it for the pod. I
No,
don't
go
really
ahead.
remember this, but yeah.
Okay. So.
What's his full name?
No. We'll just say
He's in Elmore County jails.
we'll just call his man
I'm just kidding. I don't know where he's
The
at.
pedophile.
L man.
L
Low
man
man.
sucks.
Low man. Low man.
Little
the-
man.
Pete the
His name's
pedophile.
Logan. His name's Logan.
Logan. Okay, Logan.
So I used to work at a marina back in my hometown before I moved up to college. And
In our hometown.
yeah, in our hometown.
He just burped. He just ripped a burp.
And my last summer working there, we had a new guy start. His name's Logan. Now, from the first day I met Logan, he was giving me this off vibe. And all these people that had worked with him before I started my first shift with him, were like, this guy's weird. He smells like shit.
He smelled like shit.
Yeah.
Telltale pedophile.
And I was like, okay, whatever, So I meet him. The first thing this motherfucker does is pulls me in and gives me a damn hug. And I tell you what, I've never smelled worse shit in my life. It was a combination of body odor, hasn't showered in 2 weeks, and dog shit.
Tell you what, it sounds like Lewis to me.
Yeah. He smelled like dog shit. So I'm like, holy fuck, I'm going to stay away from this guy. And I worked the whole summer, and he's just giving me an off vibe because every time I'd see him, he'd be like, hey, man, you should check out my girlfriend. And I'm like, okay, what does she look like? And he'd pull up pictures of these, like, Snapchat bots. They're, like, obviously fake Snapchat bots.
Oh
that
my God! Like this one that send you them like masturbating or whatever.
Yeah, and he'd, like, show me those videos. I'm like, Logan, that's fucking disgusting. I don't want to see that. Like, I meant, like, a picture of her face, dude. He's like, yeah, that's my girlfriend. I'm like, holy shit, what the fuck
Yeah,
is this
she's
guy's
in-
problem?
She's in 10th grade.
And-
she's about to get her license. She can come over to my mom's house and hang out with me.
Man,
So-
tell you what, them 10th graders do it different on Snapchat. Man.
I find out later he's a retired military veteran. And,
That's rough.
yeah, I felt really bad for him.
Not a good secondary career path.
And he would tell us stories. Like, he would come up with the most elaborate lies and it was a blatant lie. It was just like obvious that it wasn't true. It would be like one time he told me and 4 other people at this marina that he was given what is it called, like a courage
Like a badge of honor or something.
no
like
no
that.
no like a courage pin or something, like a
The pedophile?
no, a courage coin or what is it? Yeah.
The
Yeah.
pedophile got a courage coin?
It-
What's
Yeah,
that?
well, when he was in the when he was
When he was in
you
the
know,
army,
when he was
before he was a
active duty.
pedophile. And he was like, "Yeah, I got it because one time I was flying around in Iraq, and Barack Obama was in the helicopter with me, and I told him to shut the fuck up."
And he said he got a courage coin for that?
Yeah, I was like, "So you turned around when you were taking missile?" He told us he was taking missile fire, and he said he turned around, looked Barack Obama in the eye, and told him to shut the fuck up and sit down so he could land this damn helicopter. Keep in mind, I think like the highest rank on his LinkedIn says he was like a private in the damn.
First of all, that means he
Army.
probably was never even in the army.
He was.
How do you know?
There's pictures of him.
He was
in the army.
he's probably run out in the battlefield, giving the snipers water.
Yeah.
Yeah, are you sure it wasn't just him in like a fake uniform with a Photoshop background?
It's like Bobby Boucher and Waterboy. Like they felt bad for him.
Yeah.
So he tells me this. I'm like, this.
He was in the cafeteria cooking up the beans.
By the end of the summer, I couldn't stand this motherfucker. And the last day I was there, I cussed him the fuck out because at this marina we had a tradition. On your last day, you jump in the water,
Right.
because it's on the water.
Yeah.
And
And
nice,
so,
warm, salty
I was
water.
getting ready to jump in, and as I was doing it, he runs up behind me and tries to push me, and I turn around. I was like, "Fuck you! Don't fucking touch me!" I was like,
Ooh.
"This is like I've been working here 5 years, and my last day."
He
and
wanted
you're
to
gonna
fill your
come
little
here."
bussy up. He wanted to
I'm
get
like,
up in there.
"Don't fucking touch me," because this whole time he's giving me a weird vibe, and I never
Should
liked
ask him
him.
to jump in with you. If
And-
he was really, really down.
Yeah.
To make sweet love to you.
So I quit. I move up college or whatever, start doing this. And I get a text from one of my coworkers at the marina about a month and a half later. And it's a picture of this Logan guy. It's a mugshot. I'm like, holy shit, what the hell did he do? And this guy texts me. He's like, I don't know what he did. Everyone's sharing this picture of him with a mugshot. And I'm like, okay. And he shows back up to work about a week later and tells our boss, the manager.
Shows back up to work.
He showed back up to work. He told the manager of the marina, who had seen this picture multiple times, that he just couldn't come to work because he was too sick to even pick up his phone and text him. Well, then the manager confronts him and is like, oh, well, that's not true because there's this mugshot. And he's like, oh, it was because I didn't show up to court for a speeding ticket. And, that's kind of believable. It's like, you can forget
I
that.
believe that.
Well, then
I wouldn't believe that you had to go to the police office and take a mugshot, but you couldn't.
Yeah.
You couldn't send me a text or give me a call.
Yeah. So I get a text about a week after him lying to the manager, and it's a screenshot from the county sheriff's office, page of convicted people, and it says Logan blank blank, 4 counts, possession of child pornography,
Oh my god.
bail per count $20,000.
Holy shit. So somebody paid his bail?
Somebody paid his fucking bail.
That's crazy.
I was baffled. I was like, holy shit. You never think that, you can always have the assumption that somebody's like a pedophile or
Yeah,
whatever.
it's like everybody goes around going, that
Like-
guy's a pedophile or whatever, but nobody actually is like believes.
But it's
And
like,
the thing is,
it-
that's also one thing, for somebody to pay his bail. Like,
yeah,
it's probably his mom or dad
his
or whatever.
parents probably paid his
yeah,
bail.
but still, if you got that, it's like,
He was
I
35
wouldn't
and
wanna
lived
pay
with
your
his
bail.
parents. He told us he lived in 5 different places. One time, first place he told me he lived was on Marina Road. In our hometown, Marina Road is the richest road in this place. The average house cost there is like $7 million. He told us he lived there. And then after that, he said he lived in a trailer by himself. And after that, he said he lived with his parents. And then after that, he went back to saying he lived on the beach. So it was like,
well, he might have had a nice, Dutchman Classic 240. He lived in.
man,
One of those good old camper pull behinds, man.
Yeah, one of these great pull behind campers.
yeah.
1994, possibly.
That Logan motherfucker was always, he just, insane.
Well, he was a pedophile, so I mean,
yeah.
that's pretty.
And I don't know if he's in jail or not. I really don't know.
I would.
You know, he's probably still working at the marina.
No, he's not.
He's not.
He shouldn't be because there's like 16-year-old girls that work there.
No, there's not.
There's
Not
not?
after what happened to that one 16-year-old girl.
What?
Oh my God, I gotta tell another fucking story. All right, here we go.
I have such a bad feeling about this story.
So, this is like my second year working at the marina.
Right.
There's a guy works there. Let's just call him D-Man. D-Man
He
is
gets a dick.
a dickwad. Everyone fucking hates D-Man. Everyone acts nice to D-Man because he seems slightly autistic. But he's a dick. And so nobody likes him. So we're sitting there and I'm coming back from my last year. I'm like, yes, I'll come work for y'all. Y'all paid me good. I made good tips or whatever. And this girl, whatever we'll call her, Linda. Y'all know this woman.
Okay.
She was a grade above me. She's 16 years old at the time. I was 15. And we start working. And about, I don't know, a month and a half after we started working, Linda quits out of nowhere.
Okay.
So I text her. I'm like, why'd you quit? And she says that D-Man would say stuff around her. And I like saw this, but I was like, kind of like, whatever. It's just him being him. And he's joking around.
Yeah.
Would
Do you
say
know,
like,
you know who is Linda is, Leo?
No.
he would say stuff like, you're really hot.
Right.
You
You're
look like
you're a good-looking 16-year-old girl.
yeah, stuff like that.
Correct. As you do when you're. How old's D-Man in this situation?
D-Man's 33 in this situation.
Jesus
Still lives with
Christ.
his parents.
Yeah, that'll do it.
That'll do it.
I mean,
To this date, for this date and time, he is now 36 and still lives with his parents. So
Oh my God. So he's harassing her. He's talking to her. He's saying shit to her all day. Is that what she's saying?
yes, and so, he says one day. She told me that he would do all this stuff, and like I said, I witnessed some of it. She told me her last straw was one day, D-Man's talking to her, talking shit like he normally does,
Right.
and says, you look a lot like your mom. And then he says, I've seen your mom before. I definitely hit that.
That's a
And
bold thing to say.
right after he just said that she looked like her mom.
Right.
Yeah, and so turns out she then went home crying that day to her mom. Her mom shows up to this marina, and it just
And-
was not good. So yeah, there's a long history of
Of young girls being harassed at this workplace.
yeah.
and first of all, let's confirm she, it's not like she doesn't look like her mother.
Oh yeah, Jesus Christ! Jay.
Okay, at this-
Jay's like, it's not like she doesn't look like her mom, and it's
Well,
not
yeah.
like.
Well,
Well,
you're not
she's-
saying,
I think she's 19 now. She's 19 now. So yeah, she's 19 now. So this is a perfectly legal.
So we can
statement.
say anything we want about this girl.
No.
Well, as long as we don't name drop. I mean,
I'm
they
just
don't-
saying-
they don't-
Well, I don't ever walk around the bars around here and go, "Oh yeah, I should be worried about
Let me
what
see
I'm
your
doing."
ID. Dude, that shit almost happened to me.
Really?
When I was at freshman year, I was at South, and this girl
Southwestern.
Southwestern,
South Northern.
South Northern, she probably honestly my freshman year she definitely walked up to me. I did not walk up to her. I'm sure.
I think you've told me the story too.
And she chatted me up. We start making out like crazy. We go upstairs. We're talking. Then I run into her brother, and she's like, "Yeah, he got kicked out yesterday for throwing up all over the place, but they let him back in or whatever." And then her brother's plastered, more drunk than about as drunk as you can be at a bar, and he says to me, "You should take her home. She needs to be fucked. You need to fuck her." And I'm like,
Her brother's saying that. That's
that means that, I don't know what was going on in that
Yeah.
family, but nothing good. And so I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then I was with my best friend and a couple of girls that he was with. One of them his girlfriend. And I was like, it was my freshman year. I didn't know anything. So I was just like, they were like, we're leaving. So I was like, I want to leave with my friends. And so I was like, And at that moment in my mind, I was like, I can either stay here with this girl, maybe take her back to my place, or I can just go home with my friends. And I was just like, I kind of want to go home with my friends. In retrospect, I guess in retrospect, I shouldn't have. But so then
Mistake.
I don't go home with her, go home, and then but I had her on Snap and everything. A couple months later, all of a sudden it's graduation time for high school. She starts posting graduation photos. So I learn, and I look at her birthday, I learned that she was probably underage. But I was like, she might have been 18. You know, you can be 18 your senior year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say I was 18 for the second half of senior year.
Right. Makes sense, right? But this year,
So was Marshall.
I'm scrolling through Tinder like I do, and I swipe right on a girl, and I'm like, is that girl from freshman year? And then keep in mind I'm in my junior year now, and I go, oh my God, that is a girl. I text her, I'm like, hey, if your profile says that you are 19 right now, how old were you 3 years ago when I met you in that bar? And she's like, probably 17.
Probably.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah.
There's just a
alright.
chance.
I mean, that's the thing with what's happening in this day and age with like fake IDs and whatever. It's like it's dangerous.
It is. I think
You have to
genuinely,
watch your back every move, especially if
think-
you're a guy. You have to watch your back every move you make.
within the next 5 to 10 years, they're going to come out with some iPhone thing or something that eliminates the need for like an ID,
Like a plastic ID.
like a
yeah.
plastic ID, where they have some sort of thing where it's like it pops up a full face scan or whatever. It's going to be so.
Well, I mean, they already have that in airports.
Yeah.
When you travel internationally, I don't know if y'all have ever flown internationally or not.
Yeah, I've had that shit. Yeah.
I have not.
You put your passport down, and it will scan your face, and it can, like, they know everywhere you go.
yeah.
I say I don't have a passport.
Every time you cross a border for a country, it scans your face. It has that facial recognition. It can see who you are, what you're doing, all based off like this passport thing. And they don't even need your passport to do it. They can scan your face and like line it up with everything. So, speaking of new laws coming out, let's talk about Chuck Schumer. Fucking piece of shit asshole. He's trying to take our Zins.
The Zinchinos?
Yeah, he's trying to take our lip pillies.
You know Mace because he's never had one.
And the sad thing is, they're doing this for something that has never been proven to give cancer. But cigarettes, one of the biggest killers
Cigarettes,
of people in the United
vapes.
States,
I mean,
things that are known to cause cancer, they're not doing a thing about. What they're worried about is Zins, which are, in my opinion, a healthy alternative to cigarettes. And it's just obnoxious that people his age, and, I don't like to get into politics, but I really think that old people should not have anything to do with the future of our country because they're going to be dead by the time any of their stuff actually matters.
I think
Yeah.
everybody agrees with that.
But
the one thing with Zins I like is that with the age we are, if we happen to be college students, you don't have to hear, if you're in a quiet classroom, you don't have to hear the freaking crackling of a vape going off.
yeah, and you don't have to. And it's like there's no smoke. It doesn't affect anyone around you. You know,
and then all of a
throw-
sudden you're not smelling fruity pebbles.
Yeah.
Where's that coming from?
you throw in a Zin, and it's like okay,
Nobody even knows.
You have a Zin in, nobody can tell. Maybe they see a little bump in your gum, but it's like nothing. Your lip sticks out a little bit, but it's nothing like it's not gonna affect the well-being of people around you. But I tell you what, I walk around places
And everybody's happy.
and people are smoking cigarettes, and I can't stand it. Maybe that's me. I just can't stand the smell of cigarettes, so it's just
it's bad.
insane. And even being around like vapes, like I used to vape, I stopped, and
Yeah.
now if I'm ever around people that are vaping, like it smells bad to me. It's like I'd much rather have everybody just doing like Zins.
Yeah, I mean, the
And
problem
you-
with vape is I don't think it smells terrible, but I think it's like it's so strong and you just know that
Yeah.
you're vaping, and it's like
It's like an overwhelming thing
It's-
right
it's
there
a-
in your face, and it's annoying.
it's an intense ass thing. I hate it, but
100%. So Chuck Schumer, if you hear this, if you ever hear this, I want you to know before you talk any more shit about Zens, I want you to try one, and I also want you to break down like big tobacco and all
I
of
think
that.
Zen would kill him. Zen is big tobacco.
It's not though. I'm talking about cigarettes.
Big
Like
tobacco.
break down cigarettes.
Big tobacco. The corporation owns like all that.
Yeah.
shit.
Break down all these tobacco companies that are putting out cigarettes because cigarettes are known to cause cancer. How are you going to sit here and put down something that has no long-term defects that are known to humanity?
Yeah. The problem is we don't know yet. Just like they didn't
And the
know
only
about
thing that's in there
cigarettes.
is nicotine and food-grade ingredients, and nicotine's proven to help with your memory. And the food-grade ingredients are like glycerin, artificial sweeteners, and artificial flavors. So it's like you can't sit there and tell me that you'd rather have people walking around smoking literal cancer
That's true.
than having them just have something in their gum.
You know, you bring up a good point. It's like, it's a thing that, like, if it doesn't actually hurt you at all, then we're in America. You can't ban something just because you don't want people to do it because you
Yeah.
don't want people to do it.
And you can't sit there and say, oh, yeah, but I'm not going to let y'all do any of the healthy alternatives. You can only do, you can only do cigarettes. And he talked about in his speech, he said the high levels of nicotine that are in these Zens. I'm like, okay, but you go smoke a cigarette and you get, I think a cigarette has, look up how much a cigarette has,
I got you.
like milligrams of nicotine. And think about it, there's people that sit there and they'll smoke a pack of cigarettes in a day.
Yeah.
There's people I've met that I've worked with that'll go through 2 packets of cigarettes a day. And they vape while they're not smoking cigarettes. It's,
Conventional cigarettes contain 10 to 14 milligrams of nicotine per cigarette.
yeah, and they're sitting there going through an entire, a carton of cigarettes has like 15, 20 in them?
I think it's somewhere around there.
Yeah, it's like, and you're going to say that 6 milligrams is obnoxiously high and shouldn't be allowed in the United States.
And well, the thing is with Zens, the thing with cigarettes is, you gotta, if you're at work or whatever, you gotta go outside, you gotta go take a break, With Zens, I mean, you barely notice them, and these people are happy,
Yeah.
and nobody's, having an issue.
And between the 3 of us, I'm the only one that like uses Zens.
Yeah, I've had one Zen in my life, and that was about the longest hour of my life. I mean,
Everybody understands that, like, the first time you have a Zen, if you've never had nicotine before, which I guess I'd had nicotine.
it'll
before,
fuck with
but-
you.
first of all,
No, it doesn't matter if you had nicotine before.
Yeah, I
There's
guess,
there's
yeah.
Copenhagen users that said they put a Zen in and threw up.
Dude, it made me want to throw up so bad. I almost threw up. I should have thrown up.
I was about to say I've had a couple dips of Copenhagen before, and while I was drinking, they didn't, they gave me a little extra buzz, but I wasn't I wasn't sick afterwards.
Yeah. I think
I've
that
done Levi Garrett, Red Man, Stoker's Red Supreme or whatever. That shit every once in a while it'll give me a little buzz, but it's like 90% of the time it's just something in my lip, keeping me from wanting to eat a bag of chips or something like that.
and I'd much rather have people walking around that don't smell like shit. Because number one, people that smoke cigarettes, I don't care how much cologne you use, you're gonna smell like shit
They
after
do
you
smell
smoke a
like- yeah, they
cigarette.
smell like shit.
Yeah. And
and
even people that dip, I don't have a problem if you dip or smoke cigarettes or whatever, but it's like, even if you dip, you get that shit all in your teeth.
Yeah,
It
your
is
teeth
cool
are
to
yellow,
smoke cigarettes,
your
though.
teeth are brown.
You look cool.
You do look cool.
You look sick as hell. That can.
I've always wanted to, smoke I've always been, it's a want. I've never had the desire to smoke a cigarette in my
No.
life. But it's
Jay, have
like,
you ever smoked a cigarette?
I've not.
You should do just one. Just
Well, I
one.
mean, I thought about it every once in a while, if I'm, drunk or whatever,
Just
I've always
one.
been,
It won't hurt you.
I've always wanted to be, a drunk cig guy,
I can't.
I was a drug sick guy for a while.
Really?
I hate to be the dare
Wow.
kid here, but when I think I was like 9 or 10 years old, I told myself I would never smoke a cigarette because all the people that I knew that smoked
Well,
cigarettes.
you do more nicotine than both of us.
Yeah, I know, but I don't smoke cigarettes.
True.
I'll never put a cigarette to my lips.
That's true.
And I guess it was probably because all the people that I was around, like the adults that would smoke cigarettes, I always thought they smelled bad, their house smelled bad, they looked bad. I was like, I'm never gonna do that, and I never have. I've gotten really close. I was really drunk, and 2 of my friends were smoking cigarettes at a party, and I was like, "Let me take a drag." And they said, "You told me, no matter what, no matter how much I begged, that,
Yeah, don't.
like, Yeah.
Don't give me a cigarette. He's gonna have that.
Well, that
iconic
says you got
photo.
some good friends because a drunk cig,
I just spilled shit all over my pants.
it's cold.
You piss yourself, Leo.
A
It looks like I
drunk
peed
a
myself.
drunk cig, when you're plastered, once a month is a lot different than smoking cigarettes is your primary nicotine intake.
Yeah. Well, even then, I don't know. It's just never been appealing to me to do it, and
I
so
understand, man.
I think that's one thing with the culture of America. They're like, yeah, everyone should smoke cigarettes. So,
It's because smoking cigarettes is cool.
and we've officially hit the 1 hour mark.
Yeah, but I mean, we're gonna have to edit out probably 45 minutes of this.
Not really.
No, we're gonna have to go to Jay's segment about his game warden thing and hit 5 times speed on it, and then it'll sound like a real. story.
It's
gonna be like- So me and my friends were like, we went out to the shooting range, and we went out to the shooting range, and then all of a sudden,
there was a truck following us. There was a truck following us. There was a truck following us. And then he went followed us down the road, and we had to get in town.
The stories, y'all gonna test this. I leave out stuff all the time, and I'm like, oh shit, actually, this happened right here.
He had to recount.
I can say that when it's just us four or whatever, but on a podcast, you can be like, oh well, actually, this happened.
If you ever get brought in for a deposition for like court or some shit, you're gonna be like, there's gonna be like
I'm
45.
gonna have to write something out.
There's gonna be
I'm gonna have to read off a piece of
45
paper.
minutes of fucking tape recorded of you sitting there.
Well, look, and I bet they won't bring me in again.
I
They won't bring me
think
in
I
again.
think what happened next was I think he grabbed the gun. He grabbed the gun out of his pocket, and at that moment, what I was thinking,
I thought
I was
back to when I was
thinking-
in 6th grade, and I was on the playground, and there was this kid. You understand this kid was a little bit oddball, and he'd get in the sandbox, and the sandbox was since 2nd grade. When I was in the sandbox in 2nd grade, you gotta understand, and it keeps iteration. This is going to be the worst podcast we ever do.
this is
This is-
actually I think this one's better than the first
Do
one.
you think this was better than the first one?
I think so because there's actual material in this.
I think this
Really?
one's gonna be all over
Yeah.
the place, and after this, he's gonna, there's gonna be some more.
This is
You
all,
think this
or-
is better than
this
the
is
first
all
one?
over
Not
the place.
organized. There's so much just random stuff,
But
when you
I
talk
think-
about this and
I
talk
think-
about that.
But the random stuff is nice. At least for me, when I'm listening to something, I don't want to hear 45 minutes of the same
The
shit.
same shit.
But
yeah.
we still haven't talked about the basketball game last night.
Oh shit.
That's true. Are we gonna talk about that for 30 minutes? Everyone wants to hear about Auburn basketball.
Well, I don't know if we should talk about that.
You know what we should talk about?
I mean, I don't think we have to. talk
Marshall,
about
I have something to tell you that you don't even know. But I feel as if I have to tell you.
Yeah.
All right. And I'll be honest. I want to preface this story with I was unaware because this is another good Tinder Hinge story, which I don't remember which one it occurred on. Let me find this first. But
it. In on Grinder.
so you know how you met that girl at the bar
Yeah.
the other day, right? And you've been trying to get her to come over and whatnot.
Not really trying. It's more of
Just
a.
just
it's
like
I'm just sitting there going.
if you
"Shut up."
can,
Yeah.
it's whatever. So I matched with this girl. Also, whenever you would talk about this girl, I always thought her name was Fifi at first, and so I was going F-I in my brain, and then I heard her name was Phoebe, so I was going F-I-B-I in
This
my
is
brain whenever I
interesting.
referred to her. And then yesterday I went, you came over or whatever. Something happened where you came over and her name got mentioned.
Just wait.
And then this girl texted me, and I went, I wonder if the Phoebe girl spells her name Phoebe or whatever.
Well, that's how every Phoebe spells her name.
And then I remembered that's fair. I don't think anybody Phoebe spells her name F-I-B-I.
I mean, I get it. There aren't that many Phoebes, but I feel like they all spell their name with
But
a-
anyway,
with a
I went, oh my
PH.
god, no way. And then I went, I was like, I barely remember the picture that Marshall showed me of the girl that hit him up at the bar the other day. Well, didn't she have like blonde curly hair? Doesn't this girl have blonde curly hair? And so
And
I
what's
went
what's
to
her
my-
what's her social too?
I went to I went to my I believe it's Tinder. I went to my Tinder, and I scrolled down to look at her, get another good look at this girl, and I went, nah, this couldn't be the girl. And then I showed it to Ethan. I said, is this the girl Marshall's been talking to? And he said, yeah, that's the girl. And so here's the thing. I matched with her on Tinder, and I said, what's your dog's name? She said, Kara, like from the Supergirl show. This is Saturday. And I said, Supergirl show, and question mark. She hearted that. I said, on the CW? She said, yes. I said, is that what she's named after? Yes, yes. I've never actually seen it. Now, keep in mind, I did not know that this is the girl you were talking to. I said, you might have to come over and introduce it to me. She said, I should. And then I said, what's your snap so we can make a date? And then she sent me her snap. And then we were snapping, but I haven't actually said anything to her over Snap. So I just wanted to inform you that the girl you're talking to she's talking to some other guy.
Yeah.
So look, you better get to her first.
You better get to her first. Which, just because you're talking to the guys doesn't mean she's.
You might not be the first, but
Oh, I don't care.
That's my point. Is you
And
could fuck her.
my whole thing is like, that's insane.
Isn't that crazy?
That is fucking
Isn't
insane.
that crazy? Because literally, like this happened yesterday. I realized yesterday, you came over and you mentioned her, and I looked at my phone. And I was like, no way. There's fucking no way. I was like, this is like some other girl that just like looks like her and has like the same name or whatever. And I showed Ethan. He goes, nope, that's her. That's 100% her. I was like, no. Here's some more photos because I like have her Snap, and I went to her Snap profile. I was like, and he's like, no, that's like. I was like, all the photos of her like in the Sky Bar and whatnot. And I was like, oh my god, bro,
That's fucking insane.
isn't that crazy?
I'm not even joking. That's insane.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I was overthinking my position on it. Yeah. It's crazy because you said maybe you should introduce it to me, and I said something about Zins, and then she was like, "Oh, I've never had one." I was like, "They're great." She said, "Oh, you should let me try one." I was like, "When?" She said,
man,
"Name a day."
Uh-huh.
It was like the same thing.
I'll be honest. That's gonna be most of the interactions you have with women in college. It's
you know,
that sort of,
if you know,
that
I
shit.
know y'all aren't looking for anything. I don't think y'all are quite looking for anything. Extravagant out of these interactions.
no. There's about
Maybe y'all
three-
should both come over and watch the Supergirl show, and and Marshall give her a zen.
Could you imagine if there was a little bit of?
Leah,
Double
you did.
action,
I would just say we might have to cut this whole portion out.
Oh yeah, we definitely will. So I spelled out her name.
But what if there's a whole?
She's
What if
that
there's,
short?
On me.
Oh my
Stand
god,
up. Stand up.
Well, there ain't no way. There ain't no way.
I'm not even joking. Say.
that is
Thing
crazy.
is, Mad Dog's short, but she says she's 5'0".
Now let me say it. This is a bit short.
Yeah, it seems
A
like.
bit short.
This is the heaviest edited episode I bet we'll ever have.
Yeah, I mean,
All right. Well, thank you for listening to. Wet
Is it
Box
over?
Episode 2. I assume we should probably
look, I think we've talked about everything that's
under
worth
the damn
talking
sun
about today.
for at least this week.
Tune in next week when we have a taste test of the greatest sausage.
We're
on
gonna
earth.
be comparing Kaneka to other sausages and also reviving Ethan from his chlamydia.
From the dead, we're gonna perform a seance with salt.
Thank you for listening.
Suck yourself
Peace
off.
Ah.